Hello everybody and welcome to this verbaling class. My name is Amy and today's class is called The Most Important Hour of Your Life. We're actually going to read a kind of interesting article today on some of the most successful people's habits about answering some questions, which only take an hour, about sort of focusing on something that will be important to you or channeling your life towards what you really want it to be about. So it's an interesting class. We've got an hour. I don't know if we're going to have time to do it, but you can always finish it at home and you will have access to the document. But it's definitely something fun to talk about. So do come along and join us if you're interested in practicing your speaking, but also your reading. We're going to be reading an article to get us started with this today. So do come along in. This is sort of an intermediate to advanced level class. And I always talk really quickly at the beginning of the sessions because I have a lot to get through, so don't be pushed off by that. But do come along in and join us if you would like to. Just before we get started, I'll let you know about my Facebook page and my Verbing teacher page, which are probably the most handy resources that you can use while you're here with us on Verbing. Do go ahead and check those out if you want to keep in touch. Facebook's a good place to do it. And if you want to find out some more information, then the Verbling teacher page is probably the best place to go. You can see the teacher's schedule, so that's classes and tutoring sessions, their calendar. Also write them a message or follow them so that you receive automatic notifications. You can also see all about us, who we are and what we've done, a bit of a bio. So go ahead and check those pages out if you'd like to. And we're going to say hello to our lovely students and see who we've got today. So firstly, I'll say hello to Jerome.
Hello, Amy. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. I'm talking to you from Paris. It is at 12 a.m. local time.
Wow, that's amazing, Jerome. And I have never met you before, have I?
Oh, no, it's the first time. I've been on Verbling for more than a year now, but it's the first time we have a class together.
Well, it's great to meet you. Welcome.
Thank you. It's great to see you.
And tell me, why are you practicing your English, Jerome? Is there a specific reason?
Not necessarily. I use English for my job almost every day, and it's just mostly for pleasure. Yeah.
All right. Well, welcome. It's great to hear that. English is a pleasure. All right. Who else do we have here? Let's say hello to Gabici.
Gabici, hi.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
Gabriela from Argentina.
Ah, and is Gabici your nickname?
Yes, it's my nickname.
All right, Gabriella. I was wondering if you were Gabriella, and I thought maybe not. I'm not sure, but welcome. Lovely to meet you. And whereabouts in Argentina are you?
Sorry?
Which part of Argentina are you in?
From Córdoba. It's the second city of Argentina. The first one is Buenos Aires, and the second is Argentina.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's lovely to meet you. And what kind of city is it? Is it big? Is it near the beach? I don't know much.
It's not a small city, but it's big. It's big, and it's a nice place to live.
All right. Well, welcome to the class, and lovely to meet you, Gabriella.
Thank you.
Who else do we have here? Franz. Hello, Franz.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Nice to meet you. I haven't met you before, have I?
No, it's actually my second time here on the Verbling, the second class.
Wow. And are you doing okay?
Yeah, I'm trying.
It takes
slowly, but sorry.
I was just going to say, it actually takes a little bit of getting used to, I think, the online sort of class situation. So if you have any questions, let us know, all right?
All right. The biggest issue that I'm having is technological problems, so internet connection over my PC, but I think it's going to be everything all right. Thank you very much.
All right. All right. Great to know that, Franz. Welcome. Welcome to Verbling, and welcome to this class. Carolina, hello. You've just joined us.
Hi. How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Fine.
Excellent. And where are you from, Carolina?
I'm from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil.
Well, we have people from literally all over the world so far in this class. A very big welcome to you. All right. We'll say hello also to Alberto.
Hello, teacher and classmates.
Hello. That's very nice of you to say hello to your other classmates, Alberto. I can't remember if I've met you before or not. I recognise your picture. Have we met, Alberto?
Probably. I'm not sure. There are a lot of teachers here in Berlin,
And a lot
but
of
I think so.
All right, well,
Hello,
there you go. I don't feel so bad if you can't remember either. But lovely to see you again or to meet you. And just remind me, where are you from?
I'm from Bogota, Colombia.
Okay. Well, we have some South Americans, some Europeans. Very good. Who else do we have here? Jose, welcome back. I saw you a moment ago. Are you still okay?
Yeah.
You're not
okay,
grammared out?
No.
Good, I'm glad to hear that. Well, welcome back, and also welcome back to you, Raphael. You're not grammared out either, I hope.
No, what does that mean?
It means that you've got overload on grammar.
No. I like grammar. It's kind of funny when you mention, because every time you mention we're going to have a grammar class, you take a big deep breath. You know, it's kind of funny. But I like grammar.
Okay, you like grammar. That's great to know, Raphael. I'm not a big fan of grammar, but it's very important. And so, yeah, we did just have a grammar class, but we're now going to have a break from that. Although, having said that, if you make any mistakes, I'll let you know, guys. We're going to do some reading, and, well, I'm going to not say any more about the article. Hopefully, you guys have all accessed it from the class description. But if not, it doesn't matter, because I'm going to do a screen share anyway, if I can find the right one. We're going to read this together.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I would like you guys to just think about your... Oh, we may not be able to zoom in. Is that clear enough for everybody? Let's see.
Yes,
All right,
teacher.
what I would like you to do... Excellent, thank you. Let me know if you can't see it at any point. Sometimes the screen share has a blip. So we're going to spend the time reading, and you'll see that at the end of this article are some questions. I'm not going to introduce it any more than that. What I do want to say is just take your time with your reading. There's no rush. Do your best with pronunciation. If you get stuck, I'll help you, but I will let you go through it yourself. Don't forget to think about stuff like your intonation and your expression, as well as the words, if you can. There's a lot to think about, I know. But we do have some good readers in this class already, so that should be great. So, Alberto, because you're first on the list, I'm going to get you to start with the title and the first paragraph, if you wouldn't mind.
Okay. The most important hour of your life. An executive called me up a few months ago in existential pain. He had spent the last several years pursuing a career path he now admitted was not right for him. He had overstayed his time building a software company when he really wanted to be teaching and writing. An optimist by nature. It had surprised him to find how off track he had become without ever intending it. Almost as concerning as being off track was the realization that it had happened without any deliberative choice of his part. How was this possible? Why do otherwise smart people end up strategically adrift? And what can we do about it?
Thank you. Great reading. Well done. This word here is deliberate. Would you like to repeat it?
Deliberate.
Excellent. Thanks. I was just referring to Alberto, but you're all welcome to repeat it, guys.
Deliberate.
Deliberate. Thanks, Alberto. Yeah, it's just good to get it into your mind, the correct pronunciation. But apart from that, that was beautifully read. Does anyone have any questions about any of the vocabulary?
What's the meaning of adrift?
Okay, so we'll go with you, Carolina, first. Adrift. Whereabouts is it?
Adrift. At the end.
There we go. Thank you. Sometimes I lose it a little bit. Okay. Can anyone explain what it means here? Adrift. Strategic.
Yeah, I think that adrift means, in this context, for a person who doesn't have any particular aim in life or something like this.
Yeah, absolutely. That's perfectly described. Thank you, Jerome. Jerome, do you know where this word comes from? What kind of context we have use it originally in? The physical.
I think you can use adrift for something that is not tied, for a boat that is not tied to the edge and is just out of control.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly right. So it's not anchored, basically, or not tied. Yeah. Okay, any other questions?
It is related to sailing or water? Or
yes, to boats, exactly.
The word adrift? Okay.
But as Jerome's explained and as it's used here, it can be used in other contexts, sort of as a metaphor, really. Okay. So I'm going to ask, who can I ask? Gabriella, can you tell us, what's this about? What did we just learn? What did we just read?
You want I follow with the text?
No, just in your own words, Gabriella. What did we learn? What are we reading about?
Oh, let me think a little, please. Just to reread, please. It's about an executive who is thinking about his career and the different path he followed to get their goals.
Yes. And what happens to him, Gabriella?
He thinks that sometimes he didn't plan anything, and he did reach some objectives.
Okay, yes. So the key thing I think probably from this paragraph is that this guy is, it says, in existential pain. Can anyone tell me what it means by that? What does that mean?
It's a doubt about a difficult situation you have when you think about your life, your career.
Absolutely. Thank you, Gabriella. Well done. So yeah, it's sort of a philosophical problem, right? He's thinking about the meaning of life, and he's not only worried that he's off track, he's not following what he wants to do, but he didn't actually notice that he was off track. He sort of just accidentally became off track. Has anybody ever had this feeling in their life where suddenly you wake up one morning and you think, oh my goodness, what am I doing with my life?
Yes.
And very brave to admit it too, Jose.
Yeah.
All right, what did you do about it, guys? Did you do something, or did you just get over it?
Just get over it. It's like it's not like it's something that happens. It's natural, but it doesn't mean that you have to change and to do something completely different. Probably small changes will make you happy.
Good point, Alberto. Small changes. All right, excellent. And can you give us an example, or is it, if it's too personal, that's all right?
No, no, it is okay. For example, I am a teacher, a university teacher, and once I was feeling that I was a little bit tired of doing that, but I really love teaching at the university. So I stopped working for 6 months, and then I started working again. So it was not like I changed completely and did something completely different, no, because I really like it.
Okay, really good example. Thanks, Alberto. And who was the other person who said yes? Was it you, Gabriela?
Yes, I continue with the paragraph.
No, I was just wondering if you wanted to tell us about your experience of having had this experience.
An experience, a similar experience.
Yes.
Maybe when I wanted to follow some job, to take some jobs where you have to opportunity to be creative, or to do a lot of things, and maybe some rules of the organization you can do what you want, new things, and you have to follow some rules, some bureaucracy rules.
I think that's probably, I'm sure lots of people have had that experience. Thanks, Gabriela. All right, let's continue. And I'm going to ask Carolina, please, to read from here. It's not hard.
Okay, it's not hard to see how this happens. It is as if the world has conspired to keep us perpetually distracted, addicted even to the latest update regardless of its importance. On my worst days, I wonder if my tombstone will read, "He checked email. I'm not alone."
Keep going.
Time magazine recently reported that, on average, we check our phones 110 times a day. At the highest levels, people check some 900 times a day.
Okay, let's pause just for a second so we can talk about this. And very good reading, Carolina. Well done. This one here is tombstone.
Tombstone. What is it?
Yes. Good question. What is a tombstone? Anybody?
It's the rock when some words are in your thumb.
Yes, and what?
It's like a banner in your thumb.
Absolutely, but what is a tomb?
Where dead people are buried?
Yes, exactly. So your tombstone is like the stone that is, it's also called a headstone, depending. But when you die and you get buried, then you have a stone and it tells something about you, your name or whatever. Amy Galvin, whatever, when she died, and maybe what she did in her life. Hopefully mine's not going to say she checked email. That's a bit depressing.
No.
It says here that we check our phones 110 times a day. That seems like such a lot, but actually it's probably true. Do any of you check your phones too much, do you think?
No, not too much.
Not too much, Raphael? Are you relatively sort of careful about how many times you check your phone?
Just around 100 times.
109.
109, yeah, me too, 109. All right. We're below average then. Okay, let's continue reading. Gabriela, your turn from Harris Interactive.
Harris Interactive recently conducted research for Everest College that found 83% of Americans are stressed by at least one aspect of the work. That's up 10% from the year before.
Keep going.
The New York Times recently published the results of a survey of 12,000 workers worldwide that found many lacked a fulfilling workplace. The most striking finding to me was that 70% of the workers felt they did not have regular time for creative or strategic thinking.
Thank you. All right, a couple of words here to practice. This one is published.
Published.
Perfect. Yeah, well done. This one is striking.
Striking.
And strategic.
Strategic.
Very good. Thank you, Gabriella. All right, so it says at the beginning here, 83% of Americans, and obviously we're from different countries, but I'm sure it's probably similar in our countries, are stressed by at least one aspect of their work. So I want to ask you guys, if you had to choose an aspect of your work that stresses you out, what particular thing would it be? So let's ask Jose. Is there something about your work, Jose, that stresses you out?
Yeah, maybe yes.
Yes, I think to wait for decisions of the managers is an aspect that stressed me.
Okay, that sounds like it would be stressful. Waiting for managers' decisions, absolutely. What about you, Jerome? Is there anything about your job that stresses you out?
I could mention one aspect of my job that stresses me out. Particularly, well, it's obviously related to the salary because I'm a manager and I've got roughly 10 people, and some of these are more paid than me. It is one aspect of the work that stress me.
All right, so salary, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jerome, didn't mean to interrupt you. I just wanted to say the pronunciation is manager. The emphasis is on the first syllable, okay?
Okay, manager.
Manager, yeah, that's better. What about you, Raphael? Is there something about your work that stresses you out?
No.
You're totally relaxed at work?
Yes.
Oh, that sounds great.
Perhaps it's one of my flaws. You know?
Not having anything to stress about. It doesn't sound like a flaw to me. Okay, Carolina, what about you? What stresses you out about work? Anything?
Well, I'm a journalist. What expressed me so much is the deadlines.
Oh, yeah.
It's so short, and the pressures is so high.
Yeah.
So I would like to have more time to do my work.
Yeah, I can really understand that. Sometimes happens to me with translations, actually, Carolina. The deadlines kind of, drive you crazy. All right, Alberto, what about you?
Yes, when my boss or the head of the department where I work it says that we need to do something like a report, finish a paper or something like that, and that it needs to be done like in 2 days. So and he says that we need to stay after work, but that is not stressful. The stressful part is that I always say no. I do my job, I work my 8 hours and no more. If you want to fire me, go ahead and do it.
Absolutely.
Because that is the time for my family, my girlfriend, or whatever I want to do, even just watching TV.
Yeah, that's true, Alberto, I have to say. That can definitely be stressful. when your
Yeah.
boss asks things of you that you don't want to do or you're not required to, and then you have to stand up to him or her. And Jose, I didn't catch what you mentioned before. Was there a particular thing that stresses you out about your job?
Yeah, I think it's probably the deadlines too.
Yeah,
I have
deadline.
a lot of projects and we do it with deadlines very short.
Absolutely. All right, so there are very short deadlines. There we go. All right, so I just want to point out, guys, just keep your eye on the chat box, just for corrections or maybe better ways of saying things, or just things I want to point out to you. And Jerome, could you please read from the effect?
Okay. The effect of this goes far beyond feeling stressed. When we are constantly taxed by the trivial, we don't have the space to think. We can end up getting lost and wasting years going in the wrong direction. The German psychologist Jan Saumann shared some interesting insight on the problem. As part of a research project, he took participants to the Sahara Desert and instructed them to walk in a straight line. It sounds simple, but it turned out to be complicated. Some of them walked on a cloudy day, with the sun was hidden behind the clouds, and with no reference points in view. Shall I go on to the end of the paragraph?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Okay. They all walked in circles, with several of them repeatedly crossing their own path without noticing it. Other participants did much better. They walked while the sun was shining, with faraway reference points in view. These followed an almost perfectly straight course. In other words, if we can identify what is most essential and keep our eyes fixed on that, it can help us from getting too far adrift.
All right, well done, Jerome. Great reading. You just got a really, really lovely, clear voice and a lovely accent. Well done. Just a few things about the emphasis you place on some words isn't correct. So I'll talk about those ones with you.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is here, constantly, emphasis on the first syllable, constantly.
Constantly.
Yep, that's great. This one is insight.
Insight.
Good. This one is noticing.
Noticing.
And perfectly.
Perfectly.
Very good. So all of those words have the emphasis on the first syllable, okay?
Okay, yeah.
Cool. All right. So this is kind of a bit of a long-winded metaphor to talk about keeping your eyes on the prize, really, to keep you going in a straight line. An interesting research project, though, taking people to the desert and asking them to walk in a straight line, which does sound easy, but then again, I guess not. So let's continue, and it's now Raphael. No, it's not. It's Jose's turn from the research, please, or this research.
Who, sorry? Me?
Yes, Jose, please.
Okay. This research came into focus for me a few days ago when I heard from my friend Enrique Sala. Enrique has applied essentialism to creating a meaningful career. He gave up a good post of the Scripps Institute of Oceanography in California to pursue an even more meaningful role at National Geographic. Then once he was there, he continued to negotiate his way to what he feels was the best and highest use of him, to be an explorer in residence. He now traveled to the most pristine oceans in the world in an effort to protect these areas as national parks. He and his team have already secured areas the size of Alaska from being damaged.
Excellent. Thank you, Jose. Okay, just two little words here. This one here is felt. Felt.
Felt.
And this one, effort.
Effort.
Good. Emphasis on the first syllable, in an effort to protect.
Effort to protect.
All right, so has anyone got any questions about this paragraph or the one that we just read? I think the vocab's pretty straightforward. Anyone have any questions? No? Does anyone know what the word to pursue means? What does to pursue?
Similar to looking for?
Yes, to look for.
To look
Any
for.
other ideas? Sorry?
To try to
conquer.
obtain.
Yeah, okay, so all of those are great. To look for, to try to obtain, to follow. Pursue is actually a very nice, quite useful word, which you can use in a lot of different places. Anything else? What does pristine mean?
Far away.
Clear.
No?
Clear.
Yes, it's more than clear. You're on the right lines, though.
Ah, yes. Like crystal clear.
Yeah, it basically means absolutely flawless, perfect, right? Nothing wrong with it at all. So if something is pristine, it's perfect. If you've got a pristine kitchen, it means it's totally clean, which is not like my kitchen. Okay. Raphael, your turn to read from When He Reached.
Me? Gabriela?
No, Raphael. Sorry, Gabriela.
Rafa.
When he reached out to me, it wasn't to tell me about his career. He told me he had been diagnosed with cancer in the kidney, of the kidney. He was recently had a successful surgery, so he looks in the clear for now. But the experience challenged him to look with great urgency to what he will do with what remains of his one wild and precious life.
Keep going.
The questions he asked himself don't take a long time to answer. An hour may be enough, but they have the power to improve the quality of every other hour of your life. Here are the questions.
All right. So before we read the questions, that was perfect reading, Raphael. Well done. All right. So we've heard a little bit about what's happened in this story, in this guy, and he's come up with a list of questions which can supposedly, what does it say here? Have the power to improve the quality of every other hour of your life. So we haven't got an hour, but we are going to attempt to sort of think about these questions and answer them together in class. So it doesn't have to be your true, most thought-out answer, but they are interesting questions to think about. So Raphael, if you could just read step 1, which we're going to ignore.
Step 1. If possible, get out into nature where you can feel the natural pace of the earth and not the hyperactive and inhuman pace of modern life.
Good. Inhumane.
Inhumane, okay.
Is possible.
Did you have a question, somebody? All
What's
right.
the meaning? What's the meaning of get out into nature? What's the meaning
right.
of?
Who can answer that? Anyone know?
To go
Get
to
out.
somewhere like to a park, to a beach, or go to the nature.
Yeah,
No?
it simply means to go to somewhere natural. The reason why we say get out is just it gives the idea that you're sort of trapped in the city and you want to escape from it. That's all. That's why we say get out. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
All right, so what we're going to do, guys, is we've got some questions. You'll see them there. We're going to read them out loud together. And then I'm going to get you to choose 2 of them, to think about them for a moment, and then we'll share our answers together. So we'll read a question each. So Alberto, could you read step 2?
Step 2. Write down the question. What would you do if what would I do if I only had a week left to live? And take 10 minutes to write down your answer.
Good. Carolina, this one, please.
Step 3. Write down the question. What would I do if I only had a month left to live? And take 10 minutes to write down your answer.
Thank you. Gabriela, step 4.
Step 4. Write down the question. What would I do if I only had a year left to live? And take 10 minutes to write down your answer.
Thank you. Jerome, step 5.
Step 5. Write down the question, what would I do if I only had 5 years to live, 5 years left to live, and take 10 minutes to write down your answer.
And Jose, step 6.
I can see it.
Is that better?
Yeah. Step 6. Write down the question. What would I do if I only had a life left to live? And take 10 minutes to write down your answer.
All right, so this interesting questions. I like the way it builds up. What we're going to do is we're going to choose, we may not have time to do 2, to share 2, but I would like you to choose 2. So really, these are very similar, but the time is the thing that changes. So it's a week, a month, a year, 5 years, or a lifetime. So guys, go ahead and choose. I'm going to give you a few minutes just to think about this, and then I would like you to share your answer with the class. So off you go, and if you have any questions, let me know. I'm going to get back to you in about 3 to 5 minutes. If you want to make some notes, do feel free. All right, 1 more minute, guys. Okay, just finish off. And I'm going to ask who would like to go first. Is anyone ready to start us off? No? Need more time.
Oh, I can try.
All right, Alberto. Go ahead. Thank you. Which one did you choose, first of all?
Oh, but um, I don't know. Like 5 years to live.
Okay, you
I
chose
have
5
years to
years.
live.
5 years left to live. Okay, tell me, what would you do if you had 5 years left to live?
Well, I wouldn't change my life in a very dramatic way, so I could probably I would probably do something similar, but I would manage my time better. Like I would work less time. I would learn the language, learn different things I like learning.
Yeah.
So I will learn. That would be
Mhm.
one point. I like playing sports, so I would play sports too. I would learn
Yep.
about sports. I like watching TV, so I will look for the things that I like, and I would do those things. But I would continue doing what I have done so far because that is life. Working is part of life, and and
Excellent.
and that's it.
Alberto, that was a really great answer. Well done. Not only because you said good stuff, but also your grammar was really good. Well done. So actually, if you wouldn't change much, apart from those little things that you mentioned, then that's great because that must mean that you're on the right lines. You're leading the life that you actually want to live, right?
Yeah, I don't know, and though you should know your limits. I know that this is my life. This is the way I am. This is the country that I live in. So I have to be happy. Can't
Absolutely.
complain.
Thanks, Alberta. That was a great answer. All right, who wants to go next?
I I choose if I only have a week left time to live.
Okay.
I would stay with my family if I had not much time of life. But in fact, we don't know how much time we have. So I think we have to do what we want, find ways to do what we really want to do,
Mhm.
live the life in the best way we can.
All right. Excellent. Thank you very much. Um, Find ways to do what we really want to do. I love that. Thank you. I've typed that into the chat box. All right. Who's next?
Me, Gabriela.
All right, Gabriela. Go ahead.
If I had only a month to live, I would visit my friends and told them how I appreciate them. I shared more time with my family, and I would offer my help for children at hospitals.
Really? That's great. And why? Why would you do that, Gabriela?
Because I think I could help them to live a good situation to remember after maybe after my death they could remember this situation.
All right. Thank you. Beautiful. Thanks, Gabriela. Okay, it's Jerome or Raphael. Who wants to go next?
Okay, I'm next.
All right, Jerome. Go
Looks
ahead.
like. So I chose if I only had a year left to live. I think I would travel to extreme places like Antarctic or climbed Mount Everest, things like this. Also, I would also practice extreme sports like skydiving, base jumping, things like this. And in the end, if I'm still alive after all of this, I would try to get in touch with all the people I knew, like my former classmates, everyone I knew in the past.
And what would you say to them?
Nothing particular. I would just be interested in what happened to them after all these years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I would tell them I was on my way to die.
Out.
On my way out. Yeah, exactly.
All right, Jerome, that's a very interesting answer. To be honest, I would not do that because I hate that kind of stuff. But are you a fan of adventure sports now?
Not at all, no.
But
because I knew that I would have a year to wait until the end, maybe in a way I would expect to die sooner by doing these extreme stuffs.
And if you died then, you haven't lost a lot because you're going to die anyway, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Great answer. Well done, guys. We've so far chosen a different one each, which is rather interesting and nice. Raphael, your turn. Which one did you choose?
I've chosen a week.
Okay.
Firstly, I think I would go to the bank to settle my life insurance to my family.
Yep.
And later, I think I would go to my family and say goodbye to them, to each one. And I think I would write a testimony in which I could give some properties of mine, maybe to donate some organs, my organs, if I can help someone.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to finish or to close every liaison with my friends. I don't know. I think I would travel to far away so they could. I think they wouldn't miss me when I leave. So that's it.
All right. Very interesting answers from all of you. Thanks for sharing, guys. I just want to ask you before we go, do you think this is a useful exercise to do? Is this helpful? Do you think that, like, thinking about what you would do if you had a certain amount of time left to live can actually help you improve your life, or is it a bit pointless? I'll ask Alberto first. What do you think, Alberto?
I don't know. It depends on how you deal with the situation. Because if there are some people that don't like what they do, so they would like to do something completely different, and it could frustrate them.
Mm-hmm.
So the effect could be negative. So they realize that their life is miserable or something like that. But if you guide it in the very, constructive. I don't know if constructive is a good word.
Yeah,
like,
perfect.
Constructive way.
Mm-hmm.
So you can understand the good things that you have in your life and the things that probably you need to improve or fix.
All right. Very philosophical point of view. Thanks, Alberto. It is. Well, that's just my opinion. So it depends on your attitude towards the exercise, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks. Jerome, what do you think? Is this a useful thing to do?
Well, basically, apart from working on the conditional tense, it is an interesting exercise because obviously we may have lots of different answers according to all of these questions, depending on how long left you still have to live.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting to take some time in answering these questions, but in the end, I'm still asking myself, do we really have the choice? It's okay to take time, and maybe we can think that life is going too fast, but do we really have the choice to do other way? I don't know. I'm not sure of that.
Good point. Good point. Because if we take your example, Jerome, it's some. I suppose some people argue that the things that you come up with during this exercise, which is not, you know, a new exercise, it's been around for a long time. You should do them now. You know, why are you waiting? But the fact is that you don't really want to go and do lots of adventure sports for a year, I'm guessing, because if you do live longer, then it's not much of, you know, it's not the same value.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, interesting. How about Carolina? What do you think?
I think this exercise was very useful.
Why?
That makes you speak more.
Good for English practice.
Speak more, and think about the issue of the tests. There is think about life, meaning of life, how you could see the life that you live. It was very nice.
All right, well, that's great to know, Carolina. Thank you. Let's see what Raphael says. Do you think that's a useful thing to do, Raphael? Oh, hopeless. Waste of time.
Well, life is so uncertain. It's hard to. There's so many factors involved. There's so many things involved in our life. It's hard to predict something. It's important to make some plans, to make plans for everything, but it's hard to give a right answer for this. Maybe not, I think.
All right, it depends on lots of different stuff. A bit like what Alberto said. All right, last but not least, the lovely Gabriella. What do you think? Was it a useful exercise to undertake?
Yes, I agree with Jeremy that is a good exercise to practice the conditional tense, and also we have the chance or the opportunity to think about out of the box and try to imagine what would you do just in a class. It's not in real life. Maybe in real life we think different.
Absolutely, very good point.
Like game, like a game.
Sorry, Gabriella, like a game? Oh, like a game. A game. Yeah, it is like a game. But maybe with some helpful things. Because we didn't really do the exercise as it was supposed to be done, right? We were supposed to answer the questions one at a time. So maybe it's worth doing. I wonder whether things would pop into your mind or things would come out of your hand that you didn't expect, perhaps. It might be worth it if you have a spare hour this week. And if you do it in English, then you can practice your conditional tense to your heart's content, guys. So you might want to download that file and take it with you. Thank you all for joining me. A very interesting class, very interesting points that you all mentioned. Some very good reading, I must say. So have a great evening. I think most of you are somewhere along your evening. It was lovely to meet those of you who I met today, and I hope you have a great evening, and I'll see you soon.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Bye, teacher. Bye, guys.
Bye.
It's just mostly for pleasure. Yeah.
All right. Well, welcome. It's great to hear that. English is a pleasure. All right. Who else do we have here? Let's say hello to Gabici.
Gabici, hi.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
Gabriela from Argentina.
Ah, and is Gabici your nickname?
Yes, it's my nickname.
All right, Gabriella. I was wondering if you were Gabriella, and I thought maybe not. I'm not sure, but welcome. Lovely to meet you. And whereabouts in Argentina are you?
Sorry?
Which part of Argentina are you in?
From Córdoba. It's the second city of Argentina. The first one is Buenos Aires, and the second is Argentina.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's lovely to meet you. And what kind of city is it? Is it big? Is it near the beach? I don't know much.
It's not on a small city, but it's it's big, and it's a nice place to live.
All right. Well, welcome to the class, and lovely to meet you, Gabriella.
Thank you.
Who else do we have resources that you can use while you're here with us on Verbling? Do go ahead, check those out if you want to keep in touch. Facebook's a good place to do it. And if you want to find out some more information, then the Verbling teacher page is probably the best place to go. You can see the teacher's schedule, so that's classes and tutoring sessions, their calendar. Also write them a message or follow them so that you receive automatic notifications. You can also see all about us, who we are and what we've done, a bit of a bio. So go ahead and check those pages out if you'd like to. And we're going to say hello to our lovely students and see who we've got today. So firstly, I'll say hello to Jerome.
Hello, Amy. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. I'm talking to you from Paris. It is at 12 a.m. local time.
Wow, that's amazing, Jerome. And I have never met you before, have I?
Oh no, it's the first time. I've been on Verbling for more than a year now, but it's the first time we have a class together.
Well, it's great to meet you. Welcome.
Thank you. It's great to see you.
And tell me, why are you practicing your English, Jerome? Is there a specific reason?
Not necessarily. I use English for my job almost every day. And
Big welcome to you. All right. We'll say hello also to Alberto.
Hello, teacher and classmates.
Hello. That's very nice of you to say hello to your other classmates, Alberto. I can't remember if I've met you before or not. I recognize your picture. Have we met, Alberto?
Probably. I'm not sure. There are a lot of teachers here in Berlin.
And a lot
but
of
I think so.
All right, well, there you go.
Students.
I don't feel so bad if you can't remember either. But lovely to see you again or to meet you. And just remind me, where are you from?
I'm from Bogota, Colombia.
Okay. Well, we have some South Americans, some Europeans. Very good. Who else do we have here? Jose, welcome back. I saw you a moment ago. Are you still okay?
Yeah.
You're not
okay,
grammared out?
No.
Good, I'm glad to hear that. Well, welcome back, and also welcome back to you, Raphael. You're not grammared out either, I hope.
No, what does that mean?
It means that you've got overload on grammar. We have here Franz. Hello, Franz.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Nice to meet you. I haven't met you before, have I?
No, it's actually my second time here on the Verbling, the second class.
Wow. And are you doing okay?
Yeah, I'm trying.
It takes
slowly, but sorry.
I was just going to say, it actually takes a little bit of getting used to, I think, the online sort of class situation. So if you have any questions, let us know, all right?
All right. The biggest issue that I'm having is technological problems, so internet connection over my PC, but I think it's going to be everything all right. Thank you very much.
All right. All right. Great to know that, Franz. Welcome to Verbling, and welcome to this class. Carolina, hello. You've just joined us.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, fine.
Excellent. And where are you from, Carolina?
I'm from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil.
Well, we have people from literally all over the world so far in this class. I'm very... Hello everybody and welcome to this Verbaling class. My name is Amy and today's class is called The Most Important Hour of Your Life. We're actually going to read a kind of interesting article today on some of the most successful people's habits about answering some questions, which only take an hour, about sort of focusing on something that will be important to you or channeling your life towards what you really want it to be about. So it's an interesting class. We've got an hour. I don't know if we're going to have time to do it, but you can always finish it at home and you will have access to the document. But it's definitely something fun to talk about. So do come along and join us if you're interested in practicing your speaking, but also your reading. We're going to be reading an article to get us started with this today. So do come along in. This is sort of an intermediate to advanced level class. And I always talk really quickly at the beginning of the sessions because I have a lot to get through, so don't be put off by that. But do come along in and join us if you would like to. Just before we get started, I'll let you know about my Facebook page and my Verbing teacher page, which are probably the most handy